right now our thought that while we have some time, we can get this much further ahead. We got a little bit of body work, just some body filler to do on a few of these panels, so we might go ahead and get that done today. That needs some right there.
And then block it out.
Yeah, that's the worst of it, because that's
we
where
need to do that there.
Crack hit it.
I don't think... Yeah. I mean, we could try doing this here, but...
We could square that up a little with it.
I'd fix this one.
Okay.
Leave this one alone. This seat, this side is nice.
The only thing on here I was going to do was right here. Just
okay.
A little bit.
We can do that. I should have
ground that off. I'll hit that with the die grinder.
We can...
There's a ding here, too, we could do.
Okay, we got 1, 2, 3 pieces there.
The hood.
The hood. Where on the hood?
That was on the other side in the corner right here. This.
Okay.
In this.
That's 4. How about the firewall? I don't think it needs anything.
I don't remember it needed anything.
It looks good to me.
Yeah.
I think we'll leave it alone.
Let's look at this fuel tank here. There it is. I knew there was something right there.
Okay, that's hardly
easy.
anything.
We could skim that.
Yeah, yeah.
And then block it out.
Yep. But this is all very minor stuff.
Yeah, really. These side panels are the worst of it. 5 pieces, that's not terrible.
No, and it's minor stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just a couple. This is probably the hardest one.
Yes, yeah.
Because you've got a radius here.
As you can see, even though we got up super early today, it's just way too humid and a little bit too breezy to work here. Just check the weather, and I think we're going to do a little bit of body work, let it warm up a bit, maybe clear off this humidity. We're not used to this high humidity here. And then I think we're going to be having a window where we can put a little paint on things. These are all the bolts to bolt the engine to the back of the tractor. We got track guard bolts. We got the bolts that hold the rollers to the bottom of the frame. We're going to get a little primer on them. And then we're going to do some body work. And then we're going to hope that the weather still cooperates and we can spray some paint. We did do some of the bolts already for the track guards and the rollers. So it was a relatively wind-free day until we got everything out here and mixed up some paint. But we're going to go ahead and try and shoot it. We got a ½ inch of rain last night. Should keep the dust down, at least long enough for us to get a coat on everything. Dad's been looking forward to painting the rest of this stuff for a week now, and every day we get up and we gear up to do it, and we get wind.
This is actually good because it's overcast. We don't have sun on it.
Yes.
Now, it's not going to dry as quick, but...
I don't think we're going to get a second and third coat today, but this is another step closer. This is 3 coats on the track guard, and honestly, I think this is covering pretty well. I'm not seeing any adverse reactions here either on top of that other paint. I think we're going to be compatible just fine. I just offered to spray for a little while, but Dad says, I got it, I'm good, I'm good. I think this is his thing.
Reward for all the prep work.
Very true. If anybody's curious, we're using a Binks Model 7 siphon paint gun with a sharp canister, and that thing is about 45, 50 years old almost. And that paint gun has painted 2 dump trucks, like 3 or 4 pickup trucks, Broncos, cars, yeah, I mean, John Deere D's, John Deere's, other cat stuff, just a ton of stuff.
I think that's it.
We're going to let this sit out here and tack up a little bit, and we're going to work on some body work inside. I've got the fuel tank up here on an ad hoc shelf that I've made on the lift. But I've got this one ding right here. I'd also like to give this a nice sanding, but we'll spread a little out here. And I'm looking over the rest of the surface. This thing's relatively straight. I don't see much on this side either. There's our scratch, and I'm going to use some of this JB Weld body filler. I'm a real fan of the JB Weld stuff, so I'm going to give it a try here. Wait a minute. That's better. I overworked it and didn't work it fast enough. I had it good. I should have left it alone and then recoated, but this is the first time I've done this in a long time. Looks like it's dried enough I can sand it. I'm definitely going to need more here. Got the seat over here. There's a little spur of metal here. I'm going to take my die grinder and get that off. I'm going to put a little body putty on a few of these panels here that need it. I got Bondo on everything else here, so I'll get some on the hood. Cleaner's back there mixing up another batch of paint. I'm going to continue work on the body putty. I'm not going to do any sanding, definitely not, until that stuff's cured. I need to get a little bit more on a place on the hood, some on the side panels, and I made some very rookie mistakes with this body putty. Not too happy about, but live and learn. So I could put another skim coat on here. You can still very faintly see the scratch up here, but I can't really feel it. A little bit here maybe, but it's really hidden that dent down here pretty good. Same thing with the hood. I've got a little low spot right here where there's a little crinkle. I need some filler. A little bit right there, a little more filler. Other than that, starting to blend pretty good. Now I'm going to probably blend this out. The seat, same thing, skim it. It's a lot wavier than I thought it would be. A lot of dings and dents in it. So it's actually a lot harder to get this one straight. I need to skim a little bit. I got some skid marks in my body putty here. So I'll probably clean all this off. This is the one that took the brunt of everything. I need to fill a little bit right there. That was low from there to here. A little bit more in here to feather this out. Same with this. Looks like it just needs another skim right in here. All this is going to have to wait for tomorrow. So, dust. So this was on the back of 4G, and this one came off the engine, but we're going to put this nice one on the back of 4G, and we're going to stick this one on the engine. Dad straightened it up and cleaned it up as best as he could. We used a 7/64 drill. And we're going to put in these, I think they're number 4 by 1/4 stainless steel drive rivets.
That one started good.
Cleaner's thing, polishing tags. So definitely he has to do the honors here. These holes up here, there were actually 2 sets of holes drilled in here. One below the original tag, but this is just a better and easier place to put it, and you can still see it. Just put another coat of body putty on all these pieces over here. Dad and I have been setting the valves right here, double checking them, and we got everything good to go. But we were also checking to make sure our decompression system works. So go ahead, Dad. What are you in right now?
I'm in the start position, so I'm going to put it in run, which will make the valves close completely. Watch these two here, these 2 intakes. See them come up, and now they're closed.
Right now, what do you have it?
It's in start.
In start.
So the compression's released on the 2 intakes here and here.
Yep.
See? They're tight. So when I put it in run, it'll close them up. Now the valves are closed.
And now you got compression
we got
on
our
engine.
We got our 9/1000 valve clearance right
there. So that
there.
diesel will fire.
Start position, releases compression, run, puts compression on. That's start, and that's run.
Our clearance looks good. We're so close. We're ready to fire this up, essentially. As soon as we get this together, and we got to put oil in it. Don't want to forget the oil.
Or water.
Oh yeah, or water. This is our done pile over here, but we're making some room, getting the skid steer. We're gonna take this stuff outside to sand it. Guess we'll start with that one. Dad's been out here working on the panels, and I'm gonna mix up a little bit more body putty. I got a few little places to skim, but they're really starting to look good. I got a few places here I need to skim it. A little bit right here that we can feather a skim through there. A little bit there. Got a skim on that one, and this stuff dried so quick I couldn't even get it on the other ones. We got a little bit more putty on these and some glazing putty in the little pinholes. And I think those are going to be ready after this sanding. The hood needs a little bit more. I'm going to take it around in the shade and put some more on that. The seat, it's going to need a little more. I think this tank is probably going to be okay. What do you think, Dad?
Yeah, we'll see what it looks like shortly. See, I got this feathered. I just need it in the middle right here to cover these holes.
Okay. Let me get this over in the shade. I'll mix up another batch of putty and skim this. We've kind of got a regular production line. Dad sands, I putty. I think that's our 4th or 5th round with the body putty on some of these. Once these are set and cured, we can do a finish sand and hopefully get some primer on them. I'll double check everything, and I can put a little bit more glazing putty in the areas where we got tiny pinholes.
I gotta get it rough with this 120, and then I use 220, like here.
We're gonna dust a little primer onto that and kind of see where our high spots are.
It could be blocked a little more, but I'm thinking I'll put some primer on it, on this whole top, and we'll
sand it again.
We'll sand the whole thing.
All right.
Because the primer will fill in a lot of this.
You're clingy today. Hi. We're trying to get all of our painting done because, as you can see across the road, we live in the middle of the breadbasket of America. So that is all wheat. And when the custom cutters roll through here, the sky and the air is just full of chaff. It's just dust everywhere. This stuff's looking really pretty good. And other than the track chains and the oil cooler and a few other little things, this is our last batch of paint. Now we're gonna do one side, the back side first, then we're gonna flip everything over and finish the other side. And that'll be like the outside of these side panels, the hood, the seat, the fuel tank, all the really visible parts. Got a little bit of glazing putty in there. We're gonna give this a nice skim sand with some really fine stuff here. Those are just to cover up the minor pinholes that we have in a few of these items. And that tank is looking really good. And we're gonna prime it and sand it again. I don't know that you guys wanna watch us sand and body fill and putty and sand and rinse repeat. Got a first and a second coat on most of this stuff. And again, these are the bottom sides. We still gotta flip them over and do the top. Definitely getting shiny. That's 2 to 3 coats on everything. And I mean, you can definitely see the flaws in our bodywork, but of course we're gonna see it more than anybody. And like Dad says, this is a tractor, but I'm gonna spend a lot more time on the bodywork next time. We may rush this a little bit, but I mean, considering the way it looked before when we started, it's not terrible. Last coat. This is it. This is our last coat of paint on all of this stuff. We're gonna mix up just a smidge more. We got a couple places to finish up out there. We can bring all that in and start on our track chains. I have to say, hats off to Dad, because he's really taken the bull by the horns with the paint and the bodywork and stuff, and he's put in the extra time.
Well, I want to get it done.
Yeah, I think we're both in that mode.
Yeah.
Since the sandblaster, we could see the light at the end of the tunnel, and it has been go, 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 go.
And that sandblaster saved us a good month's work.
Oh, easily.
And we got a lot nicer job.
Oh, yeah. At the time I'm recording this, we're about a week away from the 4th of July, and there's combines down the road. They're putting the headers on. They're getting ready to cut this wheat across the street. And when that happens, the air around here just gets full of chaff. So we couldn't have got the paint done at a better time. Yeah, we got the track chains to do, but I'm a little less worried about dust and stuff in the track chains. There it is. We got all the major painting done. Other than the track chains and a little bit of touch-up, everything's done. I do want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Dad just quoted the great Squatch, and he said, "Don't let perfect be the enemy of good." We were just going over all of our panels, and we pointing out all the little flaws that we see. But yeah, it's a tractor. We get this thing out at a tractor show, it's going to be covered in dust, and you know, we'll know where the flaws are, but hopefully nobody else will see them right away. I'm sure somebody will.
That's true, like show cars, they take them to shows in trailers, and they're always on pavement. This thing's going to be in grass and dirt.
Oh, they'll be thrashing wheat and binding hay and then everything else around it, so that's okay. Maybe when we get to the show, I'll tell them we want a spot next to the thrashing machine. Yeah. Not too bad for Komatsu yellow paint.
How dare you!